What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing absolutely fine. And today we're gonna continue with the third book of Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, and probably we'll start the fourth book. All right, let's do this. To steal, to sow, to buy, to be at rest, to see what is to be done, which is not seen by the eyes, but by another kind of sight. What these words mean and how many ways to be understood they do not understand. The body, the soul, the understanding. At all senses naturally belong to the body, and the desires and affections to the soul. So do the dogmata to the understanding. So do the dogmata to the understanding. To be capable of fancies and imaginations is common to man and beast. To be violently drawn and moved by the lusts and desires of the soul is proper to wild beasts and monsters, such as Phalaris and Nero were. To follow reason for ordinary duties and actions is common to them also, who believe not that there be any gods, and for their advantage would make no conscience to betray their own country. And who when once the doors be stunned upon them dare to anything, if therefore all things else be common to their if therefore all things else be common to these likewise, it follows that for a man to like and embrace all things that happened and are destinated unto him, and not to trouble and molest that spirit which is seated in the temple of his own breast, with a multitude of vain fancies and imaginations, but to keep him propitious, and to obey him as a god, never either speaking anything contrary to truth or doing anything contrary to justice, is the only true property of a good man. And such as one, though no man should believe that he liveth as he doth, either sincerely and conscionably, or cheerful and contentedly. Yet is he neither with any man at all angry for it, nor diverted by it whom the way that leadeth to the end of his life, through which a man must pass pure, even ready to depart, and willing of himself without any compulsion to feed and accommodate himself to his proper lot and portion. Alright, the fourth book begins. The fourth book. That inward mistress part of man, if it be in its own true natural temper, is towards all worldly chances and events ever so disposed and affected, that it will easily turn and apply itself to that which may be and within its own power to compass, when that cannot be which at first it intended. For it never doth absolutely addict and apply itself to any one object, but whatsoever it is that it doth now intend and prosecute. It doth prosecute it with exception and reservation, so that whatsoever it is, that falls out contrary to its first intentions, even that afterwards it makes it proper object. Even as the fire when it prevails upon those things that are in his way, by which things indeed a little fire would have been quenched, quenched. But the great fire doth soon turn to its own nature, and so consume whatsoever comes in his way. Yea, by those very things it is made greater and greater. Let nothing be done rashly and at random, but all things according to the most exact and perfect rules of art. They seek for themselves private retiring places, as country villages, as the seashore mountains. Yet though thyself art wont to long much after such places, but all this, though must know, proceeds from simplicity in the highest degree. At what time soever thou wilt, it is in your power to retire into thyself, and to be at rest and free from all businesses. A man cannot any whither retire better than to his own soul, especially who is beforehand provided of such things within, which whensoever he doth withdraw himself to look in, may presently afford unto him perfect ease and tranquillity. By tranquillity I understand a decent orderly disposition and carriage, free from all confusion and tumultuousness, afford then thyself these retiring continually, and thereby refresh and renew thyself. Let these precepts be brief and fundamental, which as soon as thou dost call them to mind, may suffice thee to purge thy soul thoroughly, and to send thee away well pleased with those things, whatsoever they be, which now, again, after this short withdrawing of thy soul into herself, thou dost return unto. For what is it that thou art offended at? Can it be at the wickedness of man, when thou dost call to mind this conclusion, that all reasonable creatures are made for one another, and that it is part of justice to bear with them, and that it is against their wills that they offend. And how many already who once likewise prosecuted their enmities, suspected, hated, and fiercely contended, are now long ago stretched out and reduced unto ashes. It is time for thee to make an end. As for those things which among the common chances of the whole world happen unto thee, as thy particular lot and portion, canst thou be displeased with any of them when thou dost call that our ordinary dilemma to mind, either a Providence or Democritus his atoms, and with it whatsoever we brought to prove that the whole world is as it were once one city. And as for thy body, what canst thou fear, if thou dost consider that thy mind is and understanding, when once it hath recollected itself, and knows its own power, hath in this life and breath, whether it runs smoothly and gently, or whether harshly and rudely, no interest at all, but is altogether indifferent, and whatsoever else thou hast heard and assented unto concerning either pain or pleasure, but the care of thine honor and reputation will perchance distract thee. How can that be if thou dost look back and consider both how quickly all things that are forgotten, and what our immense house of eternity was before and will follow after all things, and the vanity of praise and the inconstancy and the variableness of human judgments and opinions, and the narrowness of the place wherein it is limited and circumscribed. For the whole earth is but as one point, and of it, this inhabited part of it is but a very little part, and of this part, how many in number? And what manner of men are they that will command thee? What remains then, but that thou often put in practice this kind of retiring of thyself to this little part of thyself, and above all things keep thyself from distraction, and intend not anything vehemently, but be free and consider all things as a man whose proper object is virtue, as a man whose true nature is to be kind and sociable, as a citizen, as a mortal creature, among other things which to consider, and look unto who must use to withdraw thyself. Let those two be among the most obvious and at hand. One, that the things or objects themselves reach not unto the soul, but stand without still and quiet, and that it is from the opinion which is within, that all the tumult and all the trouble doth proceed. The next, that all these things which now thou seest shall within a very little while be changed and be no more, and ever call to mind how many changes and alterations in the world thou thyself hast already been an eye witness of thy time. This world is mere change, and this life opinion. Alright, guys. So we began with the fourth book, and we're gonna continue it tomorrow. So thank you for joining me today. See you tomorrow. Bye.